Hey guys, it's me Jake from JakeMan21642. Figured we'd get a little artsy with that first shot here just because I've got a train running right behind me as I do this video. But anyways, this is a pretty well overdue video, just some updates on my 2003 Honda Accord. Obviously this is my daily driver, as I'm sure all of you know. Yes, I do still have the Beetle. Yes, there'll be a video of it coming eventually. Been driving it here and there, but it's just been so hot and I've been so busy lately. Nothing's really been happening with the Beetle, but still do have it. Anyway, though, this is my daily driver, the 03 Accord. Some things have changed in the last month. It does have some more miles on it. I'll try to get a quick drive video towards the end of this, because this really isn't going to be a long update video, because not that much has changed. But as you can see, the first thing I'm sure a lot of you are wondering is, yes, I did get the scratch taken care of in the store from the whole taxi incident. If you can't tell, there's still a little bit of like a mark on the body molding, but it was at least painted over so the paint won't peel on this now. And I can still see an outline of the scratch, just my eyes will go to it, but the scratch is covered, it's taken care of. He even touched up all the little things down there. Basically, he touched up everything on the entire car for 45 bucks. So yeah, dealership perks right there, but as you can see along the front, he touched up a lot of the rock chips and stuff, and of course the car's gotten more since then. Also, the scrape that was on this bumper from the taxi is gone. I'm pretty sure that just buffed off. I don't think that actually needed to be touched up. Coming along the car, you can see I do still have my 35% tint. It looks really dark right now because I'm actually kind of in the shade, but do still have the tint, do still love the tint. So worth the money, especially when you have a leather interior in Virginia. Coming along the back of the car, everything is pretty much the same back here. I haven't really added any more stickers or anything, and I do still have this obnoxious plate frame. I kind of just want to leave it on here until it starts to peel away, which will be soon because it was $2.99 on eBay. But I like that. I think it's funny. I get like scowls from people in like S2000s and like RSX Type S's and stuff, but I don't even care. Another thing that did happen on the car, well, other than two, you can see right here, there was a little bit of like paint cracking and rust that had been there just since I got the car, and that was even touched up when I had the paint done. Otherwise, tires, I did get them rotated last time I got an oil change. Time before today, I did get an oil change this morning, actually. But another thing that happened is the car got brakes all the way around, which you can't tell because they've gotten like kind of rusty because it's been raining so much in the middle. But I did get all four new rotors. Each wheel got a new rotor, which the front rotors were OEM original ones, and the back were cheap-ass Pro Stop ones, which God only knows where those came from, because pretty much all the work that had been done on this car on the Carfax is at a dealership, so I don't even know. Maybe that was some lame do-it-yourself type thing. And it had really, the front brake pads I replaced after I bought it, but it had really cheap metallic brake pads on the back. But it has brand new ceramic pads on the back, and the front ones, of course, are ceramic because they're Honda OEM. It's not some kind of like crappy American car. So I do have Honda OEM pads on the front, and I did get all AutoZone, or no, it was Advanced Auto Parts for it, just because I just wanted to get it all done in a day. So, but they are the high class, I believe they were like the gold line or whatever, but they're very nice brakes on the car. So those all the way around. The front pads maybe have like 5,000 more miles on them than the back ones do, so I don't really think it'll be that much of an issue. Up front, you can see everything's pretty much still the same. I did have a coupon for a free wash when I took it in for the oil change. So of course I used that, and I literally think they just hosed the car off and threw some tire shine on it, because I mean, it looks clean, but like over here there's still like bird poop on it and like other stuff. You can still, there's still a water ring on the sunroof from where I set a drink on it the other day, so they totally just hosed the car off. But hey, at least it's somewhat clean now, because I'm filming this video on Monday. I don't know when you guys are seeing this, because I don't know when I'll have a chance to edit and upload this, but got all that done on Monday, kind of somewhat clean the car. Tomorrow is the only day I work for the rest of the week, and then since this is pretty much my last week of summer before I start college, I'm going to the beach with some friends for the rest of the week, and we're taking this. So that's why I wanted to get the oil changed, get it somewhat clean at least. But as you can see, tires are actually still wearing very well. I did look at these and I found the date on them. They are from 2013. But as you can see, they are just wearing. These have personally been the best tires I have had on any of my cars. They handle well, they're grippy, they're great in the rain. I don't even notice the fact that this car doesn't have traction control. They were great in the snow, and they've all around just been good tires. But I'm probably gonna get new tires by the end of the year. I could easily get another 20,000 miles out of these if I really wanted to, but by the end of the year, I'll probably upgrade the tires, just since I will be doing 60 miles a day, 3 or 4 days a week in this car. So, looking at either the Continental Extreme Contact DWS, and I know people on here are gonna be like, oh my god, Continental tires, but we had them on Mom's car and Dad's car actually. Both came with them from the factory, and they were great tires. The ones on Mom's car lasted until like 48,000 miles. But these Yokohamas, I'm really gonna milk these because these have been great. But I either want to do that or Michelin Premises, because I believe that's actually what these came from the factory with, and those are just all around fantastic tires. They're expensive, but they're worth it. So that's probably gonna happen. Like I said, I was thinking towards the end of the summer, but it's pretty much the end of the summer, and these tires are still perfectly fine, so those are staying. Otherwise on the car, the only other thing I did was I changed the manual gearbox fluid in it. Just other things I did mechanical wise. Change the gearbox fluid. That's a really, really easy thing to do. And my friend actually even had a full bottle of it, so I only had to buy a bottle. And so that was like 20 bucks, and it literally took like 15 minutes to do. Like I said, brakes. And then the only other thing that's been done is this morning when I was at Honda and got the oil change. They, of course, did their little dealership, let's find every little thing wrong with your car inspection, and told me it would probably be a good idea to get a brake fluid flush. I can't remember exactly how much it was, but it was under 100 bucks, and I know there's going to be those people that are like, oh my god, you fell for the dealership, don't get work done at the dealership. I just went ahead and got it done. They know what they're doing. I've honestly had pretty good experiences so far with this dealership. Really, all the times I've been there, it's been the same people working there. They remember me. I trust them, and I knew the brake fluid probably did need to be changed. And especially if I was still on those old, really shitty, warped brakes that this car had, I would have left them, or I would have left the fluid alone. But now that I've got new brakes, I might as well have gotten it done, and I did. And the car stops on a dime now. That actually made a surprising difference. So we'll go ahead and step inside. Got my key right here. 6 months with the car. It was 6 months a couple days ago, so 6 months and about 9,000 miles with it so far. Got the key the day I bought the car, got it cut, and it looks, you can just see the high quality materials Honda uses because it looks exactly the same as when I got it. So, step inside. I believe I've shown this before, but I'll just show it again. It does have the older Honda thing it does, where you can unlock it and hold the key down, and it puts all the windows down. And then if you go back up to the door, just go right here and lock it, hold it. We'll put all the windows back up. I know I've shown that before, but maybe just there are some people out there that don't know that. I believe that was a feature on the LX, EX, and EXL. I'm pretty sure the DX did not have that because it didn't even have keyless entry. So, stepping inside, the interior is like in total daily driver form right now. I literally just kind of shook the floor mats out and put some leather conditioner on because, I mean, the car's going to the beach in a day. The interior is going to get filthy and full of sand. So, no use in really going crazy, but as you guys can see, this is what the car pretty much looks like on a day-to-day basis. So we'll go ahead and start it up and do a mileage check. And as you can see, currently I'm at 160,000 miles. I believe last time you guys saw this car, it had 135 something on it. So yeah, I've kind of been driving a lot. That's probably close to 3,000 miles in a month. So inside of the Accord, pretty much everything is still the same. I really can't think of anything that I even want to change in this interior. That's obviously staying. I've gone over that before, but honestly inside, I mean, all the materials are the same. Nothing is broken. Nothing is really changed. Maybe the only thing I can say is this. gap right here isn't perfect. It looks a lot worse on camera than it really actually is. But that's probably because that airbag cover has been removed at least once to replace the airbag. But I think it might be a common thing with these as they start to lift, because we had a V6 sedan at work that was really, really separated. And it hadn't been in an accident, it was just the cover didn't fit correctly. But mine, I mean, as you can see, it's pretty much fine. Otherwise, though, everything inside is fine. There's that little mark up there. I think I've shown it before. You can tell the people who owned it before me kept it in a garage. So they had the garage door opener on there, and it left a mark. Steering wheel audio controls, cruise control, all the windows over here. Of course, 7th gen, you only get an auto up and down driver's window. Power locks, power mirrors, doesn't have heated mirrors because it's an 03, something I could care less about. Sunroof controls down here. Headlights. In the middle, you can see the gauges. I will tell you, I have not gotten tired of just looking at these gauges when I'm driving. I love the way they look. Honda did such a great job with them. And as you can see, I'm on 333 miles with this tank of gas. Primarily city, and it's still like a quarter tank. But that is one drive to Northern Virginia and back, dealing with horrible traffic on the way home. And then city driving. I didn't even bother filling up before I went to Northern Virginia either. This tank's lasted me well over a week now, and I'm still at 333 miles. And that's at least another 70 to 100 miles before the light even comes on. So this car gets excellent gas mileage, and I'm really curious to see what this tank will be, because this has been a very mixed bag of driving, and it's been mostly city, and the air conditioning has been on the entire time in the summer. So we'll see. In the middle, air vents, of course, the radio. The 60D changer I've actually been using a lot lately. I bought, I think it's over here. My friends and I went to a record store and loaded up on CDs and stuff, and this was $1. So yeah, of course I bought the $1 Soul Asylum CD. And laugh all you want, all you people with your iPods and Pandora and Spotify, even though I have both of those, and Bluetooth in here. I still love my 60D changer. Like you can see right now, it is loaded, because it's nice, especially for road trips and stuff like that. This one does inside have the brushed aluminum finish, which I really prefer over the wood grain. The wood grain isn't that bad, but just I prefer the way this looks. It's much cleaner. Satellite radio down here. I'm starting to think it's time to get a new antenna for this, or wait until a car that someone left the antenna on rolls into work, because it's been acting weird lately. It hasn't been getting that great of a signal, and it's just been a little spotty. So I think it might be time for a new antenna, which literally the cable is run under this panel, run under the seat, run under the door plastic, and then up and out right there. So 5 minutes to replace. Cup holders back here, have my phone charger, and then the armrest, of course. Seats still holding up perfect. This seat has seen a lot of ass time in the last week, and absolutely nothing with it has changed. So there's that. Over here on the door, you can see just like my hoard of stuff. This always seems to be the area too that like receipts from drive-thrus and like the bank they end up getting. I cleaned them all out earlier and there were so many receipts, but see, I keep a bottle of hand sanitizer in here. I'm not some weird germaphobe, I'm just in used cars all day, so this is nice to keep when I leave work. And then, of course, like touching gas pumps and stuff like that, I just keep that in there. Some mints, screwdriver that I honestly don't even know where that came from. And, oh yeah, I threw this in here since I was going to the river with some friends, because it's sunscreen for a tattoo. You're really not supposed to get sun on it for the first month or so, so I've kept that in here. So, go walk around the car a little bit, pop the trunk. I mean, like I said, I know this video is 15 minutes long so far, but there isn't a ton to show with the car. It's been perfectly fine. Stepping into the back seat. This car, one thing I love about it is such a great people hauler, and I know I say that every video, but God, I missed having 4 doors, and I love having a comfortable, nice sedan like this. I had 5 people in here multiple times the other week. I had 5 people in here. Kyle Liberty, he can tell you about all those adventures, but it was perfectly fine. At least it looked perfectly fine, and I mean, everyone seemed fine in the back seat. And honestly, it wasn't as slow as I was expecting. Like, I was still driving around perfectly fine. But all the materials, of course, typical Honda, it does follow into the back seat. We have a pocket down here with Sonic Honey Mustard. Again, I have no idea where that came from. Back here, I keep a spare shirt in the car, just nice to have. And then I finally started keeping my raincoat in the car, because it seems like every single time I work on Saturdays, it is like pouring rain. So I keep that in here. I figured it would just be nice to keep. Armrest in the middle. And then, of course, the trash can in the middle. You guys have seen that. Someone, when I had 5 people in here, rigged this up in the middle and did like a really good job with it. I don't know who did this, so whoever did this, if you're watching this, thank you. Because it was just like on the floor. I'm sure you guys saw it before. Back here in the trunk, I kind of organized it. Of course, stuff moved around, but since we're going to the beach, I thought I would somewhat organize this trunk, so there it is. Actually, these might stay even better if I throw them behind the bag. So that's all nice and organized. I feel like I can fit 3 people's worth of stuff between here and the back seat, because this car does have a really, really nice trunk. I actually drove back with a dresser, which was 2 really large boxes, an IKEA dresser and or 2 bags of stuff. All fit back here perfectly fine, along with my luggage. Over here, do have all my detailing stuff, of course. I just keep it in here because I'm that much of a neat freak. And this side, a little bit of wax behind the door handle. And up front, as I mentioned, it's not perfectly clean. I know, people are probably thinking I'm like some kind of slob, but this car has really been on the road in the last few weeks. You can see in here, I actually did get a new GPS, and honestly, this is a terrible GPS. Do not buy whatever TomTom this is. That's like 130 bucks at Target. It is not a good GPS. One thing is, it takes like 10 minutes to turn on, even if it's plugged in. You have to hold this button down for so long. I like this design, and I like how thin it is, and I like the way this stays on, but it folds down. But it also overheats, which I mean, it's like when your iPhone gets too hot. I can understand that, but this is designed to be on a windshield. This should be something that should not overheat, especially when it's telling someone to get somewhere that they probably don't know how to get to because they're using a GPS. So yeah, this thing has left me using Google Maps on my phone quite a few times. I'm probably going to take it back. Inside of there, of course, all the paperwork for the car I've kept. And all my junk in that door too. And I really just love the way satin silver metallic shines up on this car. I know the hood is popped up, so it's all ugly right now, but I was actually talking to the paint guy at work about satin silver versus alabaster silver, because alabaster silver was the color on the refresh models of this Accord. And he actually told me, he was like, this is a much better looking color than alabaster, purely because this uses a blue metallic flake, which I've kind of noticed that it really does have kind of a little, just a bit of a blue shine to it, versus alabaster, which uses red flakes. So I've always known I've liked this color more, but now I know why. It's because of that. But coming up underneath the hood, everything's running perfectly fine. Of course, just got a new oil change today. Serpentine belt was changed a couple months ago when I had it. Next thing I'm probably going to do is change the coolant. I believe that's the only fluid that has not been, well, power steering fluid, but that was changed right before I bought it. But the coolant's clean. I just want to do it to do it. I also want to do the radiator hoses before it gets cold and change the thermostat. Just all general things you should really do. I still have the K&N air filter in there. That's actually been really good with the car. And then up here, you can see nice clean brake fluid. Battery will also probably be something I do soon. I'll probably go ahead and get one from Costco just because I have a friend with a membership and they're very cheap. But this battery is fine. I just don't trust it because I don't know how old it is. But it's a really nice Bosch battery. It just doesn't have a date stamp on it. So that battery could easily be like 8 years old. So that's going to go soon. See the headlights? I did wet sand them recently, of course, as you can see, and they are on. So I'll go ahead and pop the camera inside and just give you guys a really, really quick little driving video. The 7th gen Accord, pretty much everything is the same with the way this car drives, as I've said before. I would say the only thing really that has changed is now the brakes don't shake like death when you brake. But otherwise, I mean, everything's the same. and it's just such a great car to drive. I've pretty much driven every variation of the 7th Gen Accord, all the way from models like this, the 4-cylinder with the stick. I've actually driven 2 stick shift 4-cylinders, believe it or not, as rare as they are. Driven that. I've driven the V6 with a stick, and I've driven the V6 with an automatic and the 4-cylinder with an automatic. And they're all great cars. I'd really say the 4-cylinder with the stick is the sweet spot in these, just because it's got plenty of power. It's really not as slow as the automatic ones, and a lot of people don't believe me on that, but it's really not. Man, that Pathfinder's driving like an asshole. Anyway, it's really a quick little car. It's fun to drive. It's a very easy to drive manual, but it's also a very slick and nice manual, which I really was not expecting in the pretty much pedestrian 4-cylinder model like this. Like I said, I've gone back and forth about which I would rather have, this or the V6. We had no 7 V6 a few weeks ago at work. I drove it. I like this more. I honestly do, and I know everyone's like, oh, you're just saying that because you don't have the V6. Not really. Like I said, these are the kind of the sweet spot with these, because they're very light. The manual ones are actually lighter than the automatic ones, and they drive like a very light car, and they also drive like an old Honda. They just have that old Honda charm to them. So, I mean, 6 months, and like I said earlier, 9,000 miles, and I still have absolutely no regrets with buying this car. I don't even wonder what it would have been like with some other cars, just because I enjoy this one so much, and I honestly have no complaints. And I really shouldn't have any complaints, because this is a very nice car for an 18-year-old like me, and I'm thankful for that every day. Like, I really do appreciate and enjoy this car. And I'm not saying that as in like a thanks mom and dad way. I worked to be able to afford this and really have put a lot of time and money into it to make it mine. And I really enjoy that. And this CR-V is just going to pull right out in front of me. Alright, at least you went into that lane. But I really, really have enjoyed the time I've spent with this car. I have absolutely no plans of getting rid of it anytime soon. I don't know why people would even be asking me that. No plans at all to get rid of this car. It's just been so fantastic to me. I have made so many memories and had so much fun with this car too. I honestly, people will probably say the SI was the most fun car I've had. I had fun with the SI, but I've had much more fun with this car. Like the spring break and all the things it's done this summer, all the places I've gone with it, I've really, really become attached to it. And I'm sure, as a lot of my friends know, very protective over it, because I always lecture people about leaving trash. And like, I had friends the other week walk across their lawn that was just clipped, and they tracked that guy in their lane. Jesus Christ, Granny. But I had friends who tracked grass all over the back seat of this car, and it's just, so people know I'm very protective over it. I don't like when people park near it, things like that. And I guess it's all for a reason. But that being said, I thoroughly have enjoyed my time with this car. I always kind of wanted a 7th Gen Accord. I never pictured myself in this exact car. It kind of just happened, but I really, really enjoy it. I love everything about it. And I know it's not a sporty car or anything like that, but it's an old Honda. It still handles very well. It's got a great amount of power. It's a great city car for as much driving as I do. It gets excellent gas mileage. I would really steer anyone I was helping car shop towards a 7th or 8th Gen Accord, just because they're such great cars. But if you're my age and you're out there on your own looking to buy a car, I would definitely go for a 7th Gen, just because they are starting to get cheap or affordable, and it's going to be a lot cheaper to own than an 8th Gen, which is a lot newer car would be. And it honestly, too, for how bad some of the roads are in the Richmond metro area, it rides very nice. and the suspension really hasn't suffered anything. Every car I've owned up until this has had bad tie rods and bad control arms, and all of those have just been made worse, or have been, the problem has been created because of the roads around here. But this car honestly has stayed together pretty well, which surprises me, because I'm not saying I'm abusive, but it definitely does not have an easy life. And I also need to bust out the window cleaner, because I can see the sun hitting my tint, and there are just dry water spots all over it, because the Honda dealership, like I said, I think they just sprayed it off and sprayed some tire foam on it, which I don't care, it was free, but if I paid for that wash, I would be pretty pissed. And so far too, I mean, I've been daily driving stick shift. I've been driving stick shift my entire life, but really daily driving stick shift I've been doing for about 10 or 11 months now. Absolutely no complaints. And primarily all of my driving is city, and I have absolutely no complaints. So, I mean, I don't get what the big deal is about it. You have to use your left leg a little more. It's not that hard. It's really just depends on what kind of driver you are, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Because, I mean, I'm in the city all the time. Pretty much what I'm driving now is pretty much what my daily drive is, but I do deal with a lot of traffic, especially out in the area where I work, or if I'm downtown with friends, especially visiting my friend in the dorm that she just moved into downtown. So this car definitely gets a workout, and I think I get a little bit of a workout driving it in traffic sometimes too, so that's a plus. But still, no complaints about it at all. I'm so glad I did not get another automatic car, because I can tell you right now, and I know I've said it before, if I had bought another automatic, I would already be bored with it. Even if it was a V6, I would probably already be bored with it. Just me and automatics do not go together. And I guess that about does it for this video. That's probably close to 30 minutes now. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Just another round of updates with the Accord. Now that I'm about to go into college, I'm not saying these videos, or videos in general, will stop, but uploading may slow down a little bit while I just kind of adjust to that. So bear with me, because I am going to college and pretty much working full time. So bear with me on that, but I definitely will try to put out an update monthly. Also, there's road work on my street, so I'm gonna have to go down my street and then do a U-turn in the middle of it so I can park at my house. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. Any questions, comments, anything like that, drop them down below. And as I always say, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more, guys.